Galaxy 666 by Pel Toro. Session 57.
Welcome back to Galaxy 666, your faithful guide Tug here. Chapter 17 is probably one of the book's premier chapters because of one major thing. It gives one of the characters a personality. Really, to this point, with maybe the exception of Bronit, you could have slapped any attributing name to any dialogue, and you'll recall in the first few chapters Pel did seem to put them on at random, and you wouldn't have known the difference. All four characters lack any real description if they are described at all. Bronit has, to this point, been the only one to have established some kind of character traits, and that was really a focus on getting to the goal, at least more focused than any of the others. But now Ischklah is allowed some distinct character as well. Here he is fearful of being alone. What a joyous piece of trivia this is. Why is he afraid of being alone? A traumatic event from his childhood? A variety of phobias? Something dealing with his mother? The four space adventurers have split up and gone to search the ship. Not sure what they are looking to accomplish in doing this, but whatever. And Ischklah hides in a closet. That, for a writer, gives loads of room to work. It is a great detail and speaks volumes about his character, far more so than Pel overtly stating that Ischklah did not like to be alone. Actually, that note lessened the event more than heightened it. Better still to just relate what Ischklah was feeling and allow us to see him cower in the corner. The mantra in writing is always, show me, don't tell me. Don't say a character is angry, show me an angry character. Don't say a character is cold-hearted, show me a cold-hearted character. Certainly by saying this, I don't mean to imply that we can't use descriptive words. Let's see how Charles Dickens does it in A Christmas Carol as he describes Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner, hard and sharp as flint from which no steel had ever struck out generous fire, secret and self-contained and solitary as an oyster. The cold within him froze his old features, nipped his pointed nose, shriveled his cheeks, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and spoke out shrewdly in his grating voice. A frosty rime was on his head and on his eyebrows and his wiry chin. He carried his own low temperature always about with him. He iced his office in the dog days and didn't thaw at 1 degree at Christmas. So you can see Charles Dickens using descriptions without showing, but even the descriptions that he chooses gives us a very good idea of how stingy and cold-hearted Scrooge is. Yes, we can live with Pel saying Ischklah doesn't like to be alone, or in fact just away from Korzak. But the most important thing was that he showed us this. But then we are back to our usual fare. Disrupting and jarring and therefore fun, I suppose, is Pel's note that Ischklah might have almost said that the alien was pseudo-plotting, but he didn't feel like making a joke at the moment. What does that even mean? Ischklah has already thought the thought that the alien was pseudo-plotting, so does this mean that he didn't actually say it out loud because he wasn't feeling funny at that time, instead of just keeping his mouth shut so he didn't alert the aliens to his presence? Or is Pel saying that Ischklah didn't even think of the thought because he was so nervous? And if that is so, is Pel just having a private joke with us? Did Pel just say, hey, I'm sticking a pun in here and want to let you know that I'm doing it? Rather, he could have just said the alien was pseudopoding down the corridor and left it for us to get the joke. Terry Pratchett is a master at this, and one of my favorite lines of his comes from his book, The Light Fantastic, when his character Death is trying to explain to a group of wizards why he is holding an hors d'oeuvre of cheese and pineapple. Quote,
I was at a party,
said Death, a shade reproachfully, unquote. That is genius. Ischklah next encounters an alien, but like Bronit, he gets the jump on it and immediately starts pounding on it. In Ischklah's fight, Pel allows himself to wander into a story about a lobster fighting an octopus, but for the most part, the human hits the thing until it stops moving, or in Ischklah's case, the alien falls to the ground. This is a difficult thing to imagine. These alien objects are really blobs and probably not rigid enough to fall over. And how do you drag one of these aliens? Don't they just stretch? It would be like trying to pull a giant ball of slime. At least Ischklah has the wits to cover up the body once he has crammed it into one of the nooks in the wall. At least Ischklah has an exciting story to tell his friends should he meet up with them again. and he has defined himself, which we have seen instead of just hearing about. Things are starting to look a slight bit better for us, if not the aliens, here in
Galaxy 666.
Here ends Session 57.